Hey everybody, welcome to our next episode. Today we're going to be talking a little bit about internal frame versus external frame packs and why an external frame pack might be the right choice for you. Before we move any further, be sure to like and subscribe and drop a comment below if you've got an opinion on either an internal frame or an external frame pack and why you prefer it. Alright, let's get to it. One of the big draws for an external frame pack is going to be the price point. An external frame pack can usually be found for about half the price of its internal frame counterpart for similar specs. Now, if you feel like you want to get into backpacking for cheap, an external frame pack might just be the right choice to get you into it, and then you can upgrade later if you decide that you want to go to an internal frame. One of the big features of an external frame pack is going to be that the weight is carried a little bit higher up. Now that makes it really good if you like to have a higher posture, but it also makes it a little bit more difficult if you're scrambling over rocks or boulders. So depending on where you hike, an internal frame might be a better choice, but if you're hiking on level terrain or a well-defined path, then you can usually get away with an external frame pack. Another big pro is that there's a lot more lash points. So if you're using bulkier winter gear, you can lash it to the outside of your pack. Now some people prefer that because they can put it in a heavier duty stuff sack and they can put their sleeping bag on the outside. Some people don't like that because it means that your gear is a little bit more prone to being snagged or caught. So there's some pros and cons. Another big pro is going to be that there's a lot more ventilation on an external frame pack. You can see that with the exception of this little bit of mesh here, nothing is going to be touching my back except for the hip belt. So that means that there's a lot more air circulation. So for me hiking in Texas in the hot summers, that's a really nice feature. Now some newer internal frame packs like Osprey and REI's packs are starting to incorporate a mesh backing and a little spacer in between the pack and the actual pack itself so that you're getting a little bit more of that airflow. So there's some pros and cons to both approaches. Now you've seen this pack in the background of my set, and this is going to be the Kelty Yukon. It's a 48 liter pack. It weighs in at 5 pounds, 1 ounce. Now that seems really overbearing, but remember a lot of packs in this similar price point are going to be in the 4 and 5 pound range. This pack can be found for $100 retail, but you can pick it up on the secondary market usually for about $40. That's where I found this one, was brand new with tags on Facebook Marketplace, and I picked it up for $30. So I challenge you to find an internal frame pack with similar specs that you can find for $30 on the secondary market. Really, this was a screaming deal. And this has similar features. It's going to be a little mesh patch right there. It's got an adjustable frame. Now, the nice thing about a lot of the newer external frame packs is they've got an adjustable length frame as well. Some of your older packs, like your vintage JanSports, don't have that feature, so you're really locked into what height you could be and use it. That's why I like to use external frame packs, especially newer external frame packs, for a lot of the young scouts that I take out, is because they're really adjustable to the height so they can grow with the pack. So if you've got a young teen that's going to be growing for a while, let's say somewhere in the 10, 11-year-old range, you can get them an external frame pack and it'll last them until they're 14, 15, 16, stop growing, and then you can move them into an internal frame pack. So this is the REI Flash 55, and this is a pack that I recently picked up, and it's one that I really enjoy. It weighs in at 2 pounds, 10 ounces, and it's a good mix between being ultralight and not. So I like to bring a little bit of extra gear, and I need to be able to handle that weight. So for the 30 to 35 pound range that I'm usually at with water, I like to have this kind of pack. Now this pack is good because it's got some good exterior pockets, something that a lot of other interior frame packs tend to lack. So when you're picking out packs, be sure that you have the right balance of interior pockets and exterior pockets so that you balance the gear needs that you need access to and the gear that you want to keep packed away. Another thing that I wanted to point out is with an internal frame pack like this one, you're going to carry the weight a little bit lower, which means it's going to lower your center of gravity. That makes an internal frame pack a better choice if you're going to be scrambling up and down, or if you're going to be moving around a lot in your upper body. So if you've got a really wooded trail or you're going to be bushwhacking, an internal frame pack might be a better choice. Like I mentioned previously, one of the big draws to an external frame pack is the number of lash points. So if you're a hunter or an outdoorsman that's going to be doing a lot of bushcrafting, having the ability to lash some of your gear or lash a kill to the outside of your pack and haul it out is a really big draw. It's one of the big reasons that I really like external frame packs is because they do allow you a little bit more flexibility in how you pack, and they again allow you to carry your weight a little bit higher up, especially if you're carrying a lot of water weight. Like I know a lot of people like to go out to Big Bend. You're going to be carrying 20 to 30 pounds of water. Just water, you need to be able to have a pack that lets you stand up a little bit. Otherwise, you're going to really start to feel it in your lower back. With an external frame pack, your upper straps basically are just there to help keep the pack from falling over backwards. They're not necessarily there to take any of the load, not like a mountaineering pack or an interior frame pack. The last big draw towards external frame packs is going to be the nostalgia factor. If you go back and look at old editions of Backpacker Magazine or Outdoor or Boy's Life, you can see a lot of folks on the cover with old exterior frame packs. So there's a lot of kind of nostalgia draw for people that want to get back to when they first started backpacking. And there's some people that never quit backpacking with an external frame pack. So what do you think? Do you think that the external frame pack still has a relevant place in the marketplace? Or do you think that it's bound for the dustbins of history? Leave a comment below with your opinion, and we hope to see you out there next time. Until then, happy trails.